Okay, so I'm gonna have the client go into an overhead squat for the functional movement screen. So what I'm looking at is thigh parallel to the ground, knees not going over the toes, lumbar arch, arms over the head. So try to get down a little bit lower. Perfect. Thanks. Next test, we're gonna do the inline lunge. So we're gonna make sure the dowel stays against her butt, her upper back, and her head. So go and descend into the lunge. Also too, her feet are in line. So there you go. So what I'm looking for is if she has forward leaning in the trunk, again, knee going over the toe, indication of tight calves. Movement away from the dowel. All right, so the client is going to do the back scratch. So go ahead and bring this arm, try to touch your hands together. All right, so we're looking for a perfect score on this. Is her fingers touching? So there is no touching with the fingers, so she gets a 2. So go ahead and switch sides. And then right here, yes, finger length away from each other, so she gets a 2 on this. Good job. For the next assessment, we're gonna be testing hamstring flexibility. So I'm gonna have her bring up her right leg. So the heel, try to keep this leg down. So the heel is at mid-thigh, so that would be a 3. So let's test the opposite leg. Try to keep that leg down. Good, both out of 3. All right, for our next exercise, we're gonna do the core stability push-up. For women, we're gonna line up the hands at the clavicle. And what we're looking at is we want her body to push up in one single unit. So we're gonna look at the shoulders and the hips moving up at the same time. Go ahead. Good. So as you can see, the hips kind of stayed down a little bit longer than the shoulders did. So we'll rate that a 2. All right, for our next assessment, we're gonna do the bird dog. First, we're gonna start with the contralateral. So I'm gonna bring the dowel here to make sure that her hips, upper back, and head stay against the dowel. So go ahead and do the contralateral. So do this side first. And then bring that elbow to the knee. Oh, there you go. Do one more of those. Good, all right, let's do the other side. Good, all right, and then for the last one, we're gonna do the unilateral bird dog. This is gonna be a little bit more challenging. Nice. Good. Good, I would definitely rate that a 3. All right, so next assessment, we're gonna do a plank. So you're gonna go on your forearms. I want you to make sure that your hands don't touch each other, so you're staying shoulder width apart. Okay, keep your neck neutral, hips neutral. You're gonna hold that for 10 seconds. Good, we're looking for a lumbar extension, hip flexion, protraction or retraction in the shoulders, cervical spine extension, flexion. Good. All right, for the next assessment, we're gonna do a side plank. Good, so we're looking for a straight line from ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, nose. Good. Also looking for hip drop, shoulder alignment. Perfect, let's try the other side now. Sorry. Perfect, choose a straight line, laterally. No hip drop, no forward shoulder and neck lateral flexion. Perfect. Next assessment is gonna be the isometric sit-up. So client is gonna have their knees bent, feet on the ground, arms crossed over their chest. They're gonna lean back about 30 degrees. Good, right there. I'm gonna remove the stick now. You have to hold that. So I'm looking for roundness in the thoracic spine, protraction, of the scap. Good. The first archetype we're going to go over is the one arm overhead press. So the client is going to press the dumbbells overhead while staying in contact with the dowel. So dowel right here in the sacrum. Try to pull in your core more so your lumbar is there, upper back, and then head. So go ahead, press. So what I'm looking for is I can still see the ear. So there's some tightness in the lats, a little extension in the lumbar, so tightness in the erectors. Also, we're looking for external rotation in the elbows, which is an indication of tight internal muscles. And then elbow flexion would be tight tris, tight bis. Good. The next archetype we're going to go over is a two-arm press. So what we're looking for here is to make sure that her forearm is perpendicular to the ground, and then she's going to push up from there and try to hold a 90% push-up. So not all the way. So you're going to bring your torso parallel to your humerus. So go ahead. The third archetype we're going to go over is the arm hang. So we're going to bring the client into horizontal internal rotation. So she's going to try to push the dumbbells behind her without compensating in the wrist there. Bring that elbow up. We're also looking for the neutral spine, so she has a little bit of compensation in the lumbar spine. Also too, we have a little of an anterior tilt in the humerus. Good. The fourth archetype we're going to go over is front rack in extension. So the client is going to be in anatomical position. She's going to bring the dumbbells up parallel to the ground. Perfect right there. So I'm looking for neutral spine, making sure that she doesn't have excessive protraction, that she's not pronating. Good. The last archetype we're going to go over is the front rack in flexion. So I'm going to have the client, again, be in anatomical position, bring her arms up like this, pull them above, so there you go, right there, hold. So what I'm looking for is elbows flaring out, good, excessive protraction. Also, if she's maintaining a neutral spine. Good. The next assessment we're going to do is the hurdle step. So what I'm going to be looking for in the client is she's going to stand on one leg, and then she's going to bring that leg over, and she's going to tap her heel down. And then switch that to get a little bit closer to the bar. Good. So what I'm looking for too is I want to make sure that she's not laterally tilting side to side and twisting her spine.
Should I do this side again?